Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming, and this is from the Depths Adventure, and just chilling here on the bridge of the newest ship to the fleet, the HMS Ajax, which is a Leander class cruiser, light cruiser. Did a video previously on this. It's taken a little while to bring in and get this particular video out. It's the previous plane we were on, at level 15, it took quite a few hours to get enough resources up. Basically, we were getting ships, but there was a lot of portals coming up, so a few resource zones, but most of the ships we were against were pretty small, with the occasional large one which would get us some good resources. There was I spent maybe I think in actual game time it said about 6 hours, and 7 hours in that plane, so actual real time is longer, because of slowdown of the game. And in that time, I didn't do any videoing, but we did have a couple of good encounters. There was one with a Steel Strider's Paladin, which certainly gave our destroyers and sloops a good old hiding, really. The Paladin's a 260 cost ship, sort of based upon, I guess, a heavy cruiser maybe, or something like that. Anyway, it's quite powerful, but with the combined torps from the subs and the fare meals, etc., we did take it down, so that was good. We had an Ascension prototype, didn't have much problems with that. Otherwise it was parry bars, lots of deep water guard ships, and just lots of little river homes, things like that, just that weren't really causing us much of a problem. Eventually did get enough really to bring this in with a little extra spare, and now I've jumped up into the next plane. So if we have a look, we're now at difficulty 20. You can see we're 47, 40, nearly the 48th parallel, if you want to say each west is a thing, each 10,000, each 1,000 is a parallel, if you want to think of it that way. So we are west and north. I'm going a little bit further north as well at the moment, heading on the map. The weather still rough, even though going west and jumping through a portal, it still seems the weather is still maybe not as bad as the previous one, but still somewhat wintry. So just going west didn't seem to make too much of a difference. So anyone knows how far west you've got to go, or is it just an incremental change? Because I couldn't see any notes anywhere about how much it changes with the weather. But anyway, we are on the Ajax here, which has got these equivalent to 6-inch guns, which are basically they're designed to take out light alloy type of penetration levels, usual 20s, anti-aircraft, 4 inches, some torpedoes, pom-poms, etc. This is just basically a bigger ship. It's got a bit of armour. No, I think it's supposed to be a light cruiser, so it's just got metal and a metal slope, so nothing fantastic, but it is a little bit more armoured. Also, in this rough weather, it is a little bit more stable, which when the new patch comes out where stability affects your accuracy, that could be a good thing. This is also designed for the fleet mode to only really go out, if I bring this back on, so fleet mode when there's nothing around. If someone gets really close, go into combat mode, but otherwise it only goes into combat mode if it sees a large target out at distance. Then it will go into combat mode and chase it down effectively. So basically aiming for larger vehicles. Otherwise, stay and protect the fleet with all the guns, and give long range fire support with the 6 inches to destroyers, which would still be going out and attacking. other little changes. Let's have a look around. Oh yeah, was one other little change I made, and this is the Empire Darwin. So this is the first of my, I would say it's a carrier. This is a catapult armed merchantman. So the Empire Darwin was of a similar sort of vein to the previous ones. Sort of similar design. Most of I didn't really change it much from what I'd done for the armoured one, but was actually used in Atlantic convoys, and they had a hurricane on a catapult, and if there was an air attack they would launch the hurricane off, and this was a one-shot deal. He'd have the pilot, he'd go off, he'd do his job, and then he'd have to ditch the plane in the Atlantic, which is, as most you might know, is not exactly known for its hospitable weather and sea conditions, but he'd have to land the aircraft and then hopefully get picked up by the boat. Well, the Empire Darwin did launch its aircraft, and the Hurricane did shoot down an FW200 or 220, a Condor, the old Condor, so that was successful, and he did manage to land and get picked up, so it was a successful use of the catapult planes. But I just thought I'd brought this in. This is my little Hurricane. Yeah, I know it doesn't really look like a Hurricane, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I've actually made it a 2D, so it's really got the cannons and rockets like the 2D Hurricane, rather than being a anti-air, a fighter. It's more of a ground attack version of the fighter. So okay, well, let's go back onto the we have got a thing. I'm not going to walk all the way back because the actual teleport is in the back area here, because your teleporter you need 3 high and most of the other areas only have 2. So let's go back onto the main miner. Where are we? And I'll put myself up into the bridge again, and then we're just basically going to have a bit of a run around and see what this new level is like, and then I have at the end of the video got one other little question for the community, sort of what you think, and that is the role and type for the next version as I go up of the my home ship, the merchantman here, which currently is this merchant miner, but I've got some ideas which I will talk about or ask later, so you can have a pop to that if you want, just interested in that, or just wait till the end of the video for that bit. So anyway, let's see what traffic. I'm going to go north a fair bit. I've already gone west, so let's try going north, just for giggles, and see what we can get in the next little while with hopefully some enemy. And the first decent catch of the day is an Ascension, Grey Talon's sort of ship, a little bit of an unusual design. It has these weird drone-ish cram cannons, as well as the main unit which is repairing them. It's always interesting. It's about 400k, I think. Yeah, 397 plus the zones, so this could be interesting. A lot of crams, but yeah, it looks like he's got lambs as well. Yeah, so there's a few lambs. We'll see if we do some damage, and missiles, a bit of a all-rounder. Good, we have the flak. Those, hopefully the Ajax will be using its nice 4-inch flak to come in against these drones. They're quite interesting actually, just sort of like a flying. They're basically a Grey Talon version of the monkey barrel, I suppose, or the bombardier in some ways. Yes, it's weird the shapes you can make fly in from the depths in the pea soup level of air we have, but it makes for fun ships, really, so no problems there. Couldn't build half the ships and planes I do if it wasn't for the physics. Yep, we're doing reasonably well. Okay, I think. Let's have a look and check. They are going for the Ajax. That is their primary system. Let's just see if he's gone into attack mode. He hasn't yet. That the Ascension is over 20,000, but I'm guessing. Let me get over this way. What distance are we? It's potentially we're too far away. But flat guns and AA in general at 20 mil, and yeah, just sheer volume I think of AA fire coming in is going to be doing a good old measure on these things. I don't know what they call them. Have they got a name? Just an SRF. SRF? Don't know what SRF stands for. Could mean anything. So we've taken a couple of hits on the Ajax. Understandable. That's gonna happen. It has got a lot of repairs. I do rely on repairs as with a lot of my builds. So, oh, as a potentially that could have been a nasty hit on the ammo supplies. But yep, we've blasted that. Guns are firing. And the destroyers and others should be effectively helping out and protecting the Ajax to a degree. Yep, they're all on attack mode. And where's my ship? My ship is, I think it may have gone into runaway mode actually. Yeah, it's gone into runaway mode because these have got so close, which is fine. We just got to see if we can take. We've taken one down by the looks of it. We've got taken any more? Maybe a second one. We've taken one, maybe two down. Oh no, there's the other one. Oh, it looks a little out of control. It's difficult to say. Volume of AA is good. They're hovering now, which good for the 20 mils, bad for them. Oh, yeah, that was a bit of a, yes, like that. Definite hit there. And this is constantly being hit with all of the various types of, we've got a lot of those explosions are going to be the pom-poms, HE. But the 20 mil with its heat is going to be doing some damage to the inside, I would guess. Anyway, have we got, there must be torpedoes coming in against this. One thing with the weather I've noticed is I had to adjust a lot of the height systems on some of the AI controllers. When you go up and down these waves, your height isn't actually at sea level. You can go down as low as -12 or up as high as 12, if you see what I mean. When you're going into the troughs and then back up again, you effectively sometimes go below the sea and then up into the air a fair bit, even without doing special wheelie type tactics. We've got someone trying to do a wheelie. I didn't say cure, but I adjusted some settings on some of the destroyers, which did help to alleviate some of the wheelie problems. And it all came down to setting the RPM on the rear propellers. Set the RPM to what is actually the maximum, and it does stop them wheeling a fair bit. So when the ship goes out of the water, it doesn't suddenly speed up the propeller, so you get this sudden impulse when you go back into the water, and that's what was keeping it in a wheelie. Anyway, that's something I should talk about at a different time. So we're carrying on that, and I think the Ajax has now gone into attack mode. Yes, he's going to be going into attack mode on this where have you gone to? Is the Ascension over this way? Looks like the and one of the destroyers is already on attack mode on it. Looks like the Ascension's gone into the water, whether correct or not. Ooh, big missile attack coming in. Can we survive? Not 100% by the looks of it. not enough anti-missiles on the ship on its own. Okay, fine. That happens. We've got a lot of torpedoes coming in, and he's firing a lot of missiles out. Again, pity he's gone into the water. I don't think he should be in the water. Potentially something's wrong with his settings. I think they are redoing a lot of the or having a pass through a lot of the faction ships, so hopefully that will help with a lot of these type of ships that just have no longer able to fly with changes to physics and other bits. Good bit for me. It means all my torpedoes will be hitting, and I do have a lot of torpedo spam, so that's good for me. Bad for the Ascension here, unfortunately, but those missiles are going to be doing a fair bit of damage to some of the ships. Let's see if we are... The destroyers act as a picket, so using their anti-missile systems, that's the intention. The Ajax does have a fair bit of anti-missile, as well as the torpedoes, so it should be able to take out a fair few, but it does rely on anti-missile from other systems. Now I'm guessing it's not firing its guns because it thinks the Ascension is too low. Let me just go and have a check. Well, it did think it was too low. It thought it was about 20 meters under the water, which it actually now is, because it's sort of sinking after all of those torpedo hits. So yeah, that's why the gunfire stopped, and we now have mainly yeah, he's going bye-bye, which is good. Okay, so first Ascension, that's okay. Survived, and I think did fairly well against that. Let's see what resources we get out of that, because that was quite a nice ship. So 56, we should see what we got at the moment. Our fleet at the moment is at about 250. Where'd that ship go? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Can't find him. Oh, there he is, over there. Let's see how many resources once he has disappeared. Our Hurricane got damaged. Didn't see the Hurricane in combat there. Basically, the cam would have released him. The Hurricane on its own, I think, is going to have a few problems. It isn't a fast, brilliant craft, but it should help. 27,000. So also we went to 270, 280, 288. So we got about 38k from that. So yeah, we get about 10%, which is, I think, is normal for adventure mode. So yeah, that should be alright. That's fine. Right, we should be able to go back onto our previous course now and start heading north again and see what other trade we can get. And the Deepwater Guard are coming in with a little present for me. Let's have a look at what we got here. So basically that looks like a Conga, does it not? No, I'm still getting that. Let's just get a little closer. Sorry, just it's my... I'm gonna get that better. Let's go to that mode. Yes, Conga. Conga can be a, certainly in the early campaign, can be a nasty little ship, for want of a better word. It's been known to cause a few problems for my ships, but recently not so bad. 171. That broadside of the APSs can be nasty if you're not prepared for it. if you come across one early in the game, that can be a problem. I think we've got enough ships here causing enough Daka to really not be that much of a problem. Just make sure I've got nothing else. I thought there was something else. No. I had just been into a little resource zone. Oh, here's our Hurricane. Let's see how our Hurricane does. I haven't seen the Hurricane in action on the video, so he's got these rockets. These are semi-unguided with a 1 turn. So he's missed. They are more aimed at going against slow ships, but he's also got quite a nice gun on him. It's a heat, I can't remember what it is, about a heat 60 mil or something, but oh, he just got hit. Yeah, he's not the fastest of things, but I have got a better fighter a little bit called the Sea Fury, but we'll go through the planes if I start creating some carriers. Where'd my Hurricane go? Did he crash? Did me poor Hurricane crash? Well, he will get re-pulled back to the merchant. Oh no, there he is. He's still flying. Somewhat lopsidedly, but he is still flying. He'll get pulled back to the merchantman, the cam merchantman, and get repaired. So that's fine. Ready for these next attempt to get a shot or two off. One-on-one, yeah, they're not going to take something like this on. Get a squadron of them, and they can do a fair bit of damage. Mix a few other aircraft in, and you've got a nice bit of potential damage against sea and aircraft. The missiles do okay. As I say, they're an unguided with a 1 turn. They do okay against slow-moving large vessels or medium-speed vessels, and the cannons does quite a bit of a punch, so they can alpha strike things quite nicely if you've got a few of them. At the moment, the poor thing's being harassed by the side APS by looks of it. So's my subs. Interesting. Well, the Congo's lasting a while, but you can tell by the amount of confetti out the back, he's constantly being hit. And as is the nature of my guns, we're just whittling away at everything, taking out guns, detectors, thrusters, and just basically making him a sieve bit by bit. Side turrets look like one side turret's gone. Two. Looks like there's some internal explosions happening from some of the weapons, but yeah, we're doing okay. I don't think has anyone got, apart from the Hurricane. The Hurricane's damaged. I don't think anyone else is. The Amazon's taken a little bit of a bash, but otherwise no one's really having a problem, I don't think. Yeah, he's going down. I think this is his final going down moment. I think he'll be in the water in a second. So sure, if he doesn't disintegrate, he'll get torpedoed. We've got submarines nearby just waiting for an opportunity. Oh, held on by a slither. But I think that's him gone now. Yep, he's disintegrating. Okay, more resources. Back onto the march northwards. I think I'm going to pull the wolf pack back into the fleet. actually. We'll see. And I thought I would just say, after looking at the map north, we came back and the weather had changed. And this is the first sort of calm weather the fleet has seen in a long time. They're all going to be out sunning on the deck, just refreshing, having a bit of a clean up. Not so worried about getting swept overboard by the massive waves. So maybe this is finally a change for the better, whether it's because we've gone far enough west, where we're now in the 50th parallel west and the 9,000th, let's call it, longitude in north. I always forget latitude and longitude. Which one's up and down, and which one's thing. I always think latitude is fatitude, and and long is tall. So lats are where you are left and right, and longs are up and down. That's the way I remember it. Anyway, I think so. We're in the. Let's see. We're in the. Let's get this right then. We're in the 50th latitude, 9th longitude. Anyway, I'm going north a bit more. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm not really a seafarer. My lats and longs, nowadays you all work with GPS coordinates anyway, so and Google Maps, so why do you need to know longitude, latitude and navigating by the stars? I mean, that's for Vikings, isn't it? Anyway, back to the journey, and I think the sun's got to my head and I've gone mad. That's what it is. Go on, he's gonna have a sit down in his seat for a while. He's yeah, obviously had a bit too much sun. And a new prey coming in, or attacker, a Solaris. So this is gonna be laser armed, which is something we haven't really had to worry about too much, and he just completely and utterly obliterated the sea hurricane. Obviously has a problem with lasers, as always. Yeah, lasers are good. Oh, there we go. He's having a go at a little bit of everything. I'm hoping our 20 mils will be able to muck up the laser systems inside, but oh yeah, look at that. He's having a. We don't have any anti-laser defense. We're relying on obliterating them before they get anywhere. We got bits falling off, which is good, but yeah, he's doing a fair bit of damage to us with that bloody laser. Is that's the short range ones, isn't it? They are powerful but short range. Let's see. Yeah, they're doing a fair bit of damage to our decking, because the decking's not that well armoured. Our big ship, it should be okay. So he's coming over towards us. This is I'm on here, and he's going to be going for the cruiser. So let's see what he does to the cruiser, or how the cruiser replies. The guns should be able to fire at him. Has he gone? No, I don't think he has actually gone for the cruiser. I think he's gone straight through. Main guns aren't firing. Are you not firing at him? Or is it just I'm just not seeing it right? Most of the guns are firing at him. Oh, yeah, they are firing. Maybe it's just these rear ones weren't for some reason. Oh, now they are. Maybe it's just visually I wasn't seeing the shots go out. With 6 inches, they're not high fast rate of fire, but they fire okay. Let's see if we've done any damage to him. Where's he down to? Come on. Come on, why are you not giving me a thing over the top of him? Come on. Oh, he's going for my subs now. Oh, poor subs. What did they do to you? Hang on, let me just try and get a bead on him. Why aren't you showing me? Why? Oh, there you go. There, no. Yeah, no, yes, no. Oh, I can get my sub. For some reason, it is not. That's annoying. Okay, let's ignore that. Let's unpause. Yeah, for some reason, it's not showing me a pop-up over the Solaris. That's a bit weird. Oh well, from the depths. He's taken some damage, I assume. I just don't know what sort of damage. I can see mine. Let's see if I put that on. It isn't having an effect. Oh well. Anyway, hopefully we've damaged him. If not, we haven't. So where is he again? Where is he? I think I've gone into runaway mode. Yes, I will have gone into runaway mode, which is just about right. So all the attacking ships can go after him, and me and the corvettes will basically run away, which is, you know, is correct for merchantmen. Now, is he still taking damage, even at range? I think we should. The flak guns do actually have a good range. The subs won't have much chance against him, really. They do have some 20 mils and that, so they won't be totally without thing. Let's just see if I can get a look at him here. So no, that's not right. Come on, him. Oh, that was a big block coming at Solaris. Let's see. So we got 2-9 out of 3-3. So he's down to 90, maybe below 90%. He seems to be actually flying in a circle. I think we've obviously damaged enough of his control surfaces, which is exactly what I like to see with Flak and the AA. Just get him out of the fight. In some ways, that's a win. He's obviously just going around in circles because he can't control in some way. I don't know if it says. Yeah, going out of control. Ah, is that why I couldn't see the thing when I hovered over him? No, still not giving me a thing trying to go over the top of him. Yep, no, still can't see what his health is. Bloody thing. Where are you? Okay, we've survived quite well. I think if I get a lot more laser craft coming in as we go up levels, I will start putting some smoke dispensers on some of the ships. There we go, he's disintegrating. Good. I thought I'd just see how we did against laser craft, and okay, I mean, they damage us. Our flyers had a problem there. I think the Sea Hurricane has been brought back into life. Interesting bit on the Sea Hurricane. It does have a blueprint spawner, but I'll maybe talk about this if I can do carriers. What I noticed is in adventure mode anyway, is it didn't respect the limit as to how many alive spawns it did. So it just kept on spawning more and more aircraft every 60 seconds. There was another one, even though I'd only set it to have one, which it had. Also, I noticed if I saved the game and reloaded it, that one it had created was no longer seen as an alive one. It was now a separate entity. That's a minor thing, to be honest. Just thing, but the main ones, it wasn't respecting the fact I said only do one spawn. As I say, one time it had 5 or 6. Every 60 seconds, another one. That it was controlled by an ACB. But even controlled by an ACB, the system should still obviously respect the spawn limits. Okay, let's go back to our move northwards. Well, first we'll see if there's a resource zone around, and then we'll continue going north as we can. And the likelihoods are coming in again, this time with an Umbra, which I guess is a sort of subby 140k. It's not quite a sub, but it does seem to have a lot of torpedoes, or are they missiles? I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a flyer. No, it is a ship. It's yeah, an unusual launch method there for the missiles. Obviously a big missile spammer. It'll be interesting to see if our anti-missile defences can stand up to this missile barrage. Looks like it's going after the Ajax. Might be firing a bit far. Yeah, a bit far. You're wasting ammo. That's a good, what are we? Yeah, 2,000 metres away. So, yeah. Get that on a lot of ships. They fire their missiles way too early, which is basically wasting resources. But hey ho, let's see what have we got going against him. The Sea Hurricane hasn't launched yet. It only launches really for aircraft. But we got the Swordfish going against him and the Sea Lion, which is good. That should mean we should have torpedoes going into him. I think he's actually going after. He looks like he's heading towards the Sea Lion and Swordfish. Well, they will be launching more missiles away. I don't think we're still close enough. No, we're at 3,500. I think those missiles, they're aiming at the Ajax, and I think they've got to be within maybe 2.5k. So firing a little early. Interesting launch system. Launch them into the water and let them come up. Or is he? Oh no, that's not. It's just because of the wave. He's definitely a ship. Right, we got the first AA shots coming in on him, which is good. I don't see this as too much of a problem. We're not getting many hits on him at the moment. Would have expected? Oh, there is some coming in. I was wrong. I think it's just graphically when he goes under the water, you don't see some of the explosions. He's firing those missiles out at a hell of a rate. Is he firing out? Oh, he's firing out he's got torpedo defences as well. So that will be protecting him against my torpedoes. But I've got serious torpedo spam he's going to have to try and protect himself against. So as you can tell, yes, no more clear waters. It's back to the semi-rough seas again. So he's going under the water quite often, which is a plus and minus. It's made him a little bit more of a erratic target to hit with the guns, but also does have an effect on the missiles, because when they hit the water they are a little slower. Let's see if he's in range yet, see if we're getting close to problems. He's getting close. They are getting close. And one I think got through, 2, 3, 4 got through out of all of those. That's not too bad. All considered, it would be nice if the destroyers and that got up a little bit more, but they're doing their best, I guess. Let's see. Yes, both destroyers are heading this way, which is fine. Actually, oh yeah, Ajax is on attack. I thought he wasn't on attack there. Ow, and it's night time as well. We have a nighttime engagement. More missiles coming in. Not seeing them all. They're going into the water. Few hitting. Yeah, a few hitting. It is okay. We're getting most of them. Let's see how is he? Let's see if I can. Is it going to give me a? No, still not giving me a thing. It's not because I've got F9 on. Let's just check. No, it's not telling me. It's not giving me the pop up over the top of the enemy this time. Okay, right. Let's ignore that. Go back to working it out for myself. So we have got so his missiles are coming in, but they're not 100% effective. There's a few getting through, but not a lot. He is taking damage. He's having to put a lot of anti-missile systems out. So our torpedoes from our subs won't be as effective as I would like, but such is life. But he's having to expend resources on all of those missiles, and I'm sure there's a limit to how much resources he's got. He hasn't taken much damage at the moment. I can't tell what resources he's got because it would normally show me here, but I can't see. Like I can tell on my own ships, I can't tell on him.
Moving now.
Oh, drat! Didn't want to do that. Never mind.
Moving now.
We'll sort that out in a second. Didn't want to do that. Never mind. Oops. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Where you gone? Where you gone? Where you gone? Where you gone? I've lost you. Now it looks like some torpedoes are getting through now. Now either they're just not, we've got too many torpedoes for him, or he's not pushing out. He is firing them. I can hear them and see them firing out, but we've obviously got enough coming in that it's just overloading his anti-missile system, anti-torpedo systems. He's still, because he's spending time under the water, we're not really getting as many hits as I would like. Oh, he's firing at the close range. Are you going to take some of those out? Yeah, he took some of those out. Not as many. Firing a little slower than I expect there, but never mind. Not worry about that. I think this is going to be another torpedo spam kill. You can see the big torpedoes from the subs coming in, and then there's the smaller ones from guessing the fair mills and the destroyers. One thing I like, they're coming around and they're hitting the, hopefully taking out some of his propulsion, although he's still okay at the moment. I'd like some more propulsion taken out, please sir. Please sir, can I have some more propulsion knocked out? He's becoming more submarine now actually than ship. You can tell by his angle, he's having a problem staying afloat. I guess he's one of these very solid ships which is not naturally buoyant. Was he down? I've always designed my ships to be naturally buoyant, so they don't need lifters or anything. They stay afloat on their own accord with bulkheads and air pumps. So they can take quite a bit of damage without having to worry about sinking. This one, I guess, is going to be fully ram-packed. Difficult to see. Can't see that, but I'm guessing it's going to be packed to the gills with various missile components. How are we doing actually on our side? Yeah, one of the Amazons and two, the Amazon and the Ambuscade are both a little bit damaged, but generally we're doing okay actually. So it's just going to be a matter of time, I think, for the torpedoes to whittle him away. He seems to be not firing out the anti-torpedo defences now. Either the detectors have been taken out, so he can't detect the torpedoes, He is firing other missiles, so I don't think his resources have depleted. I think it's just he can no longer detect the incoming torpedoes. More reasons. Oh no, no, that's normal missiles, not torpedo defense. Okay, well, more's the pity for him. I just thought I would show this little ship off, an Iron Pelican. Can't say I've come across that. Well, I haven't played in campaign much against the Great Helens, but yeah, nice little Iron Pelican here. Nice little design. Front siding strapper, which is going to be a problem. He's decided to pick on the subs, which is a bit of a problem because the subs really don't have much against these flyers, but there's going to be some long range fire coming in from the Ajax, and I guess the Hurricane's going to be here at some point. Maybe not actually. I think he's a bit too far away for even yet the Hurricane. How are our subs doing? Oh, actually, one's got down to 90. Yeah, he is having a go at our subs, which is not good. And he's firing missiles at the main group. We did get a little split up as well after attacking that. What was it? Oh no, we had another Solaris come in, and then we had something else. There was a Lamprey, and anyway, this is just a slightly different one. I thought I'd show, and yeah, because he's not coming into our main group, he's taking out our subs. Now, I was thinking to upgrade the subs. I have got another version available, but it's a bit more advanced. I have to have a think about that. That was going to be for the next generation of Royal Navy vessels, so I'll hold off on that at the moment. So we'll see if they survive. If they get badly damaged, then maybe I'll bring them into the main fleet instead of having them separated like they are at the moment. But I'll have a think about that. It's just, I don't think his missiles have got the range. They're a little short, I think, of attacking any of the ships, even though they are coming in. Let's see how close they get. My home ship is actually heading to a resource point just to gather some resources before continuing north. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a sloop up here. He has got some anti-missile defenses, but I don't think they reached. I think they were a little short. How far away is he? He's about 3,000. So yeah, I think again they're about 2,500 meter missiles. Just coming a bit short of hitting. But we are firing at it. So every little, oh, quite a big salvo there. Every little missile will take a little bit out. Oh, looks like one of the subs is having a bit of a problem, and the second one is in a bit of a runaway mode, I think, now, trying to keep range. I have got a little 20 mil on the back and a 4-inch on the front, but that's going to be minimal against something like this. I need to get something in a little bit more hefty. I think let's see if I can put the destroyers on attack mode and get them up into this area. And the Pelican has been brought down. Not sure. There's some holes being pecked in him. Potentially that's just from sheer long range fire, mostly. But now the subs can get a bit of revenge. Their torpedoes, here we go, are now gonna have a nice time getting a little bit of revenge. Maybe I need to give the torpedoes a right head torpedoes. So they've got some anti-air defense other than that purely the 20 mil, but it's not in keeping with what would have happened in real terms. Can I get a percentage? No. Oh, I can. 13,000. Okay, that's okay. So we're in a little resource zone at the moment. Be there just for a little bit. Then we will resume our move northwards again once we've taken out this resource zone. How are we doing for resources? So far, it's been quite good. We're up to 286. That's down a little bit. We were at, I think, 304, 305 at one point. So we've lost a bit. We did some of the attacks recently. Took a little bit more out of us than I wanted. The Ajax got split up from the main group at one point, unfortunately. He was being chased down by a lamprey and got sort of separated as such. Took it out, but it's now taking time to get back to the group in general. Have we got anything else? Don't think we've got any more enemies here. No. So okay, generally it's going all right, slow and steady. I might just do something about those subs. Not 100% happy with them now. I might bring them back into the main fleet. Just have a single fleet rather than trying to manage two separate fleets. Frankly, it gets a bit confusing at times, so I might bring them both back here and just reintegrate them into the main fleet itself. Yeah, I think I'll do that. It'll only take us a short while to do that. And the Onyx Watch have made an appearance. We've actually had a couple of these halberds. They're quite a bit of chunk of metal, basically. They don't do too much damage to us, although they do tend to blow the flyers out of the water. But they succumb to torpedoes quite quick. Well, I won't say quite quickly. They take quite a while to knock out, just the sheer mass of metal. It's also got a LAM system on it, so you can see it's actually taking out some of the small shells, which I think is not ridiculous, but you know, it's one of those things. But we are getting a lot of hits in there, and here come the torpedoes. It's quite a small hull, so some do miss, and obviously going up and down in the waves, which we still have the stormy seas, but he has no anti-torpedo defense unless the torpedo comes out of the water, in which case he can lam it. I think once it gets a bit closer it will succumb, as most ships do. I actually, to be honest, I left the fleet for a while. Let's just see what the game time is. So yeah, I left the fleet for a good 45 minutes just to wander around, just see getting resource zones. There was 2 resource zones nearby, and I just put the miner on into resource mode and let it wander around there, and they did so without any real problems. When I came back, we weren't wiped out or anything, and yeah, we just had this little halberd sitting here trying to get into the fleet. So yeah, so far not had anything too worrisome. Aided in some ways, well, I say aided by the weather. Not a lot I can do about it, so that's fine. Going with what we've got. We've got our resources have gone up. Not quite enough to bring in a ship ready for the next level up, taking us to 25. But again, I want to have some ideas before I do that anyway. I want to get up to about 600-700 spare. I might, if I bring in another bigger ship, I might get rid of a couple, say the Fairmeals, some of the smaller ships, just to reduce our ship count in the fleet. maybe go for some fewer ships. I'm split because I like my Fairmeals. Where they're coming into attack now. They're quite good at moving quickly into the area and getting some good torpedoes off, as you've got here. I put them on a long, quite a long attack range, so they will really go out and hunt down. So I'm loath to get rid of them totally, but they are a block out. No, I think, yeah. All said, I think I'll keep some sort of small patrol gunboat, torpedo boat in the fleet. I'll have to find some more modern ones as well, although this is actually quite a modern late World War II version. But coming in, firing the torpedoes, some little shots in. Yes, they're not going to take out the big ships, but they get those little early hits in and chase the bigger ships down, so that, well, this is, for instance, I think that's a destroyer it's concentrating on. Yes, so whilst it's concentrating on that destroyer, the Fairmeals can swarm around it and start putting their torpedoes in. So I quite like that idea. Maybe some missile patrol boats are still will still be in the fleet. A little squadron of them going out long range patrol boats, attacking anything in range. Anything that's as soon as something is detected, they're off. I think I'll make that a little change. Keep them in the fleet. But yeah, so as you can see, succumbing to the torpedo spam. It's not torpedo spam. I don't think it's not like the tsunami sub. Or even earlier, the Lightning Hoods ships we saw, that was very much a missile spam. The amount of missiles that was pouring out at my ships. We just got numbers. I've put the submarines on the flanks of the main fleet now, so they will attack at long range, one each side, getting these torpedoes out early on ships. They're another, I think, valuable asset in the fleet, the submarines, especially when you've got something big in the sea like this, where you need the big torpedoes out. And there's the halberd going down. Still not got any view. I see when the resource point comes up, but I don't see it beforehand. Strangely as well, if I do control art, I think normally I would see a circle around the enemy ship, but I'm not seeing that at the moment. Don't know why. Maybe it's an option. Well, got a nice little bit of resources. That's always good. So we're up to 396, which isn't too bad, but not as much as I would like to have. Obviously, the next ships to bring in is just on ship numbers. So we'll have a quick, because I don't know if I'll get many more exciting battles before I come out of this zone. So I'll ask the question while we've got this little bit of time. So before I brought in the Ajax, wherever it's gone to, I think it's back there now. It should be trying to make its way forward again. We were about a fleet size of about 500,000 cost, I think, somewhere in that region, give or take a little bit. And adding in the Ajax brought us up to about, the 660, 670 type of range. Again, I haven't exactly counted it. That's just a rough in my head calculation. The Ajax was 170,000 cost ship. So the next ship to bring in is, and just to clarify, at the moment I'm doing ships which are in the epoch such. It is generally pre-World War II, but was used in World War II. Now the next ship I'm bringing in is actually a battleship, which is actually not gonna fit into that, but that's gonna be about a 250 260. I might have to do some refitting, so somewhere in that sort of range size. So that's why I'd like 500 to 600 materials before I bring that in. But my question I was gonna ask is about the ongoing adventure, is how I should use the home ship, which should be my home starter ship, the main ship. So far, and I'm going to keep it on this epoch like this, I have had this merchant, which isn't the biggest ship. So as example, we've got 1600 blocks and the cruiser is 6,000 blocks. So purely on blocks and firepower, the Ajax is going to be the primary target, theoretically, of any attacking vessel rather than this. My thoughts are, is that fair, correct, etc.? You know, if you're worried about playing fair, you know, I know I'm sort of making this hard on myself again, aren't I? But yeah, those are the way I play these games. So the idea is make this a higher block count. So the options I was thinking of for going forward for the next epoch is stay with me in a merchant ship, which the fleet has to protect, but I'm going to make it a larger merchant, use a lot of small blocks just to literally get the block count up. So a lot of resource, I'll use the small resource containers instead of using all large ones, and bits and pieces. I'll go through it and make it up from a lot of small blocks, just so that the block count is the largest block count in the fleet, in theory. And have maybe not the other merchants, just have this and have it as a super merchant that the fleet's got to protect. So that's option number one. Number two is, we're bringing in a battleship, is transfer the flagship and myself to be the battleship. So I am then, you know, the leader of, yeah, I am in the strongest and biggest ship in the fleet, and the rest of the fleet is just protecting me, the battleship, from major harm. That's number two. I mean, that's not that much different from a lot of other adventure playthroughs where people just have one big ship or maybe a few other ships. So I'm less inclined to do that, but I'm going to leave it up to other people to see what you think. Third one is a carrier group. So replace the merchant with a carrier. So then I am the carrier commander. I will have carrier planes, depending on what epoch I'm in. So I'm coming into, it'll be World War II type of planes. I will be able to launch, build, and use them as my attack and defences, but otherwise my ship only has maybe close range or defensive weapons. All of the long range stuff is done with the planes and or my fleet. I'm sort of liking that. It's in some ways it's sort of similar to the Hertzmeister's recent one, although he sort of tagged on a carrier to his battleship, which, does that count? I don't know. Anyway, that's a potential option. And then the fourth one I was thinking of was a hybrid. So this is not a sort of, it's sort of historical, but not. It's ahistorical, but it fits in with certain potential designs and actual ships, and that is a hybrid carrier battleship. We're thinking on the lines of, like, well, going back in history, HMS Furious was a battleship. Had 18-inch, well, had single 18-inch guns, but anyway, had guns. It was one of the first effectively battleships. Oh, we're in a resource zone. Oh, that's nice though. It was one of the first sort of battleships as such. And carriers. What they did is they put some flight deck on the front guns and the rear gun, and a landing deck on the rear over the rear guns, but it left the guns there, and then it had a deck around the bridge to move the ship from the back to the front. Sort of successful, but yeah, they did realise, okay, we need to change this, and it got changed to be remove the funnel, move it over to the side, and it became one of the first through deck carriers. But the emphasis is there, the idea is there. And then you've got the Japanese, Imperial Japanese Issei class of I think they were battleship which were converted. They had a seaplane deck on the rear, but they kept all of their front armaments on them. Oh, that resource zone didn't last too long. Yeah, so they were actually in service, the Issei level. Little phone call there, just had to take. So back to where I was. So let's think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, option 4 was the hybrid carrier group, I believe, and we were talking about the Issei and everything else like that. Just on that, so we got the Issei as a historical. Also, just as an extra on that, the Iowa class of battleship and a few other battleships that lasted World War II had various plans to put various levels of landing decks on their rear. I think the Iowa, there was a plan at one point to put almost like a cross landing deck on the rear, remove the rear turret, put a landing deck on there and missiles and all the rest. And the same with one ship I want to do is the HMS Vanguard. There was a plan to remove the rear and put it as a helicopter pad at the rear, and potentially it could have even had Harrier jump jets later on as part of its complement. So there was a couple of potential historical precedents, shall we say, whilst for having a hybrid carrier type of system. Anyway, so that's the fourth option. So let me know down in the comments which one sounds interesting to everybody, maybe ones that someone else hasn't done. So option 1, it will be large freighter. Where's this enemy ship? Option it's a little bug. Option 2 will be we haven't had many twin guard. We had an Ascension prototype, but it's about one of the first ones. Oh, interesting. Yeah, option 1, big merchant, big merchant ship. Option 2 is be the battleship. So move everything, have a CIC on the battleship. Not my favourite one. Number 3, carrier group. I am a self-defense only carrier, but big, and control everything as a carrier group. Option 4 is the hybrid carrier battleship. Oh, they're going for my sub. Are we going to get out the? Oh, he's gone past the sub, and are we taking everything out? I think we've got enough anti-torpedo systems here by the looks of it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, fourth one was the hybrid. So things always happen just in the middle of talking about something. Such is life. Go back to the ship so I can finish that. So we've got a little trilobite coming in, which I don't think will be much of a problem, to be frankly honest. I'm going to stay again a little bit in this particular zone. I haven't seen anything which is really challenging us as a fleet. The Solaris was interesting, but we had another one come on and we almost shot it before it even got close to the fleet on the second go, which was interesting. We had that Ascension again, fell in the water, some lightning hood, so nothing of eminent problem for us. We haven't had anything which is serious yet. Is that luck? We're at level 20. you know, if you want to break it up, we should still be in the easy edge of medium sort of range of ships. We're certainly not expecting any godly million point ships, so I think I'm okay. So okay, final question then. Well, it sort of fits in with the other two the previous question. Is at the moment my fleet is made up of how many? We've got 16 ships, which I think will be the maximum just for block count and performance and everything. I think 16 is mostly the maximum. As I increase ships, some of them, the cost is going to increase, but I'm going to try and not make it so that they go too big, but I'll have to rationalize the fleet a little bit down to possibly 8 or 9 ships, or slightly bigger but less ships, I think, in the fleet as we go up, and then we'll talk about the epochs, which will be where we're going next. So I want to do some more of the pre-World War II, which is, as I say, is the next ship, and do another video on that. Then I will be looking at the second epoch, which is where I will be making the major change to the home ship and everything else, and then we'll at that point I'm looking at ships that were Royal Navy built during the World War II, late World War II, continued on after the war, in various elements. You know, sometimes were sold to different navies, or were just, yeah, they were around. Everyone seems to be a bit split up. Yeah, everyone's all over the place. Still can't see that. I guess that's that trilobite. Anyway, that will be the second epoch, and then the third one will be all post-war Royal Navy ships. And then we're looking at missile, maybe some guns and some early missile type of ships, and we'll see how that all fits in. So that's the plan anyway. As I go up each level, I'm going to have to start upgrading the ships into that sort of arena, eventually ending up at some futuristic system. Oh, we've got something else big in. Okay, let me just find out what's here to see whether we're going to be dealing with this. Just looks like a Marlin, which at the moment I don't see that as much of a problem. It'll be just a bit of resources for us, so yeah. I don't see us having much of a problem with this once all the fleet gets together. I think it would take multiple enemies attacking us at the same time to really have a problem with the fleet at the moment, or a serious laser missile barrage, which I don't think anything is really going to be that powerful against us with our sheer numbers, for want of a better word. Anyway, so whilst we take out this Marlin at range and deal with what's left of that trilobite, I think everyone's a bit all over the place dealing with various ships. So whilst we do that, I will let our fleet cruise a little bit longer in the turbulent seas of Netta, heading where are we heading at the moment? Yes, heading north. We're currently at the 61 latitude and coming up for 24 longitude, so we're going to get those a little bit further north and then go through another portal and then build the next big ship. But as I said, I want to get our total resources up to somewhere like 500 definitely, 600 ideally. We're at 386, so we are going up, which is good. So we'll have a look at it in next video at the ship. I'll already have put a video up about the battleship I'm bringing in and going through that, so we'll just see how it works in the adventure itself. So until next time, leave the comments down below, because they're always fun, and some good points that people bring up and some ideas. Please do answer about the my ideas of how to proceed on this. Don't mind which one. I've got sort of able to do everything. My favourite is sort of either the hybrid carrier or big merchant. They must be my favourite ones, but I'm open to suggestions, as of course. But as always, keep playing the game and have fun.